newsletters from Kramer. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but the whole point is that, you know, where do you draw the line? Where does censorship start and when does it stop? Well, how far down that slippery slope do I want to go? And, you know, quite honestly, Alex, when we have, you know, media buyers that are, you know, wanting to support the movement that we're doing. I mean, they used to avoid us like the plague. I still have it. I mean, you should see the email response I have back from KSTP AM 1500 here in Minneapolis, a 50,000 watt clear channel station, blowtorch. I mean, they simply flat out refused to pick up your show. And, you know, and the reason why they did it is because they don't like your content. And, you know, I get so sick and tired of the censorship. It drives me crazy. I mean, if I canceled all the shows that I've had requests to cancel on my network, I wouldn't have even one single show running on this network. I mean, people want me to stop your show. They want me to start other shows. I mean, the whole thing's crazy. And, you know, this Kramer thing, they came in, it was a media buyer they bought. They're getting great results. That just tells me that the Alex Jones show is smoking out there. And
by the way, these ad agencies, they want to get a response for their buyer so they get the ad money again.
That's exactly what that's about. And so obviously there's a lot of people calling them up and wanting to see what this newsletter is about. And it also tells it's a great you know, it tells you how big your audience has grown. I mean, you take a look, if you go to Alexa.com and you type in InfoWars and then you compare it to what would be the next largest site that you would think of, or maybe even bigger, how about RushLimbaugh.com, and do a comparison and see who's doing better. Alex, your audience on the internet is bigger than anything else out there on radio, bar none. And the world is seeing that now. And as far as I'm concerned, this is carrying the message into a camp that normally wouldn't take this message. I mean, it's kind of like you can take the example of Jesus Christ. He didn't sit there and hang out with all of his followers. He never talked to the crowd. You know, he wasn't preaching to the choir. He went out and found the wicked. You know, and isn't that what this is about? Don't we want to carry the Alex Jones show, you know, and make a bigger impression? I keep on getting accused of trying to support these people, but how are we ever going to be able to, you know, to mold this nation back to its founding fathers with the roots of, you know, the Constitution and what this great nation stands for, if we're not going to be welcoming, you know, people to listen to this type of a message? You know, well,
let's expand on that, and then I want to get into news, Ted. Speaking of a newsletter that I do endorse and think is great, you are offering still free. Bob Chapman's International Forecaster comes out twice a week. And get it in hard copy or digital. Free when somebody buys a European gold 1/5 of an ounce franc, and you have that at lower in the market than what it's currently selling for. So it's already a smoking deal to get the franc coin, and you get one, and then you get the newsletter. So let's talk about something very positive here. Let's talk about Bob Chapman's International Forecaster.
Well, Bob Chapman's International Forecaster is hands down the best newsletter that you can get your hands on. I mean, 40, 50, 60 pages. And it's the people that are in the know, the people that have taken the time to educate themselves are going to be the people that are going to survive what's coming to us. I mean, I don't know if people really have a good grasp about what's really happening to this country right now and the economic situation that we're in. But you really need to be educated. You know, information is the key to survival in this environment. There's hands down, that's what you need to have. That's why I'm making this offer. I mean, you're going to have a 1/5 of an ounce of gold that's yours to keep, to use wherever you want to sell it. I don't care. You don't even have to sell it to Midas. It holds value across the world, and they're at $249.61. And then we turn around and we pay for that subscription for Bob's newsletter, the International Forecaster, and he's going to send it to you for a year for free. Either you can have it emailed to you or you can have it sent right through the United States Post Office. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're going to get.
And it's 40-something pages or more on average. Folks, here's the number, 800-686-2237, 800-686-2237. Again, 800-686-2237. And briefly, Ted, some of the other great deals you've got on silver and other gold coins.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we currently right now have the Lakota coin at $20.91. We have the Montana coin at $18.73. A great coin to be getting into if you want to really throw your nose up at the face of the Fed and these currency laws that we have here in the United States. British sovereigns right now are at 308.76. All that stuff is at a great buy. We have some old $20 Liberties and $10 Liberties if you're interested in that kind of thing. We also have the U.S. Eagle at a real good price. You know, I call us at 1-800-686-2237. When gold was down there at $1,050 an ounce, I was able to accumulate some things, and I'm passing on the savings to you. But that Frank, hands down, I mean, that's like turning the clock back up into the middle of the 90s where you could buy gold between $400 and $500 an ounce.
Absolutely. 800-686-2237. Ted, thanks for the great job you're doing.
You bet. Thanks, Alex.
You bet. Okay, let me get into a bunch of news here and then your phone calls because there is so much to cover. Look at this article. Give me a document cam shot on this, guys, for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. The Washington Times, February 22nd. So this came out 2 days ago. I saw it this morning, and I couldn't believe it. This is the neocon Washington Times. But they do throw some curveballs occasionally. This is the popular Inside the Beltway column. Explosive news is the headline. We have this linked up on our websites if you want to find it. And it is a positive, fair article about the towers being blown up. I mean, I cannot believe this. And that's why you see the attack on 9/11 Truth everywhere, because it's so mainstream. The polls, on average, are over 50%. Some are even higher. You can't ignore these numbers. People are finding out. People are looking at the collapse of Building 7. And that's what this article talks about. The mainstream media can ignore this only so long, and then they are not even relevant if they don't start focusing on it. And their debunking exercises haven't worked. A lingering technical question about September 11th terror attack still haunts some, and it has political implications. How did 200,000 tons of steel disintegrate and drop in 11 seconds? 1,000 architects and engineers want to know. Talk about solutions. They're doing such a great job, architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, and are calling on Congress to order a new investigation into the destruction of the Twin Tower Building 7 at the World Trade Center. I mean, that is incredible. In order to bring down this kind of mass in such a short period of time, the material must have been artificially exploded outward, says Richard Gage, a San Francisco architect and founder of the nonprofit Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. Mr. Gage, who is a member of the American Institute of Architects, managed to persuade more than 1,000 of his peers to sign a new petition requesting a formal inquiry. The official Federal Emergency Management Agency and National Institutes of Standards and Technology report provide insufficient, contradictory, and fraudulent accounts of the circumstances of the tower's destruction. We are therefore calling for a grand jury investigation of NIST officials. Mr. Gage adds, this is powerful. They're actually reporting, like journalists, a serious issue and what serious people are saying. And it continues and gets even better. The technical issues surrounding the collapse of the towers has prompted years of debate, rebuttal, and ridicule. He is particularly disturbed by Building 7, a 47-story skyscraper, which was not hit by an aircraft, yet came down in pure free-fall acceleration. He also says more than 100 first responders reported explosives and flashes as the explosions and flashes as the towers were falling, and cited evidence of a multi-ton steel sections ejected literally 600 feet at 60 miles an hour, and the mid-air pulverization of 900,000, or is it 90,000 tons of concrete and metal decking. There is also evidence of advanced explosive nanothermitic composite material found in the World Trade Center dust, Mr. Gage says. The group's petition at ae911truth.org is already on its way to members of Congress. Government officials will be notified that the misprision of treason, U.S. Code 18, Section 2382, is a serious federal offense which requires those with evidence of treason to act, Mr. Gage says. The implications are enormous and may have profound impact on the forthcoming Khalid Sheikh Mohammed trial. Stay tuned for more in this space. And they cover some other issues, other stories. I mean, come on. That, I commend Jennifer Harper. I wonder what's going to